So predictions are just predictions, and I haven't made them personally, but you know, there are many people that do predictions in different examples. So I'm going to talk about it for a second. So based on some analysis, we know that there are going to be some in AQA, in this case, I'm talking about some electropotential questions, maybe linking energy and redox. We know that all of this topic can be interlinked. KP in atmospheric context, Born-Haber cycle with unfamiliar compounds. So it's worth it to take a moment to look at Born-Haber cycle and what are the key mistakes involved and what you need to look out for. Okay, then what I suggest you also for AQA, always revise the time of flight calculations, because you know these are easy marks that have come up always every single year. So make sure that you revisit that, and also maybe like unfamiliar or the complex arrangement of finding the relative atomic mass. Okay, for example, when you're given two unknowns and you need to figure that out. So please make sure that you revisit a little bit that, and a little bit the required practical. Maybe if you haven't revised them, just a little bit on enthalpy change, so calorimetry. Again, the complex type of calculation when, for example, you have a mix of questions or a mix of reactions. So, for example, you need to find the calorimetry, or better, the enthalpy of the enthalpy through calorimetry, and then you're given another enthalpy, and you need to bring this together into an Hess cycle. Also very common for paper 3 questions. So maybe if it doesn't come up, it would be paper 3. Acid and base titrations, okay? Always very important how to carry it out, and the full interpretation of titration curves and indicators, okay? OCR, for the predictions, we have periodicity and structure. So please revisit a bit of group 2 and group 7 trends, because of course it's a topic that we do in year 12 and we tend to forget. And of course, a lot of buffer, Ka, pH calculations, okay? So maybe revisit a bit group 2 and group 7 trends, and make sure that you know exactly how to explain equilibrium shift, okay? And then of course, buffer calculations, super important. So we have a few more practicals for you to revisit: enthalpy change, acid and base, redox titrations. Maybe don't worry about the practical, but at least be able to interpret in a practical context, and rates of reaction. So a topic that does come up for you. So please make sure you revisit that a little bit for tomorrow. And Edexcel, so just in terms of student discussions, because there have not been specific predictions for it, we can expect a challenge in transition metal questions. Okay, multi-step inorganic and physical crossover likely. So maybe we should revise a bit group 2, group 7, and also how it links to foundation concept of physical chemistry. For example, linking to bonding, observations in chemical reaction, and these of course linking to electropotential, right? And maybe this could also link with thermodynamic, okay? And we could expect also some complex question bending like equilibrium, catalytic effect. That's why today we practice a little bit of this catalyst, and also to get used again to unfamiliar questions. If you want to practice a little bit of revisit some required practical, I suggest you to look at enthalpy changes. Again, we do not want to make mistakes in basic concepts like calorimetry experiment, right? So please make sure that you know every single step. Ka determination by titration. So this would be a super nice one to link, you know, the titration and then also the calculations with Ka, so we know the half neutralization point. Redox titrations, so remember maybe a little bit the colors of key transition metals. Ionic equations, if you're not confident in writing this, make sure you practice. And yeah, it's a very common in the physical inorganic crossover questions. Okay, so thank you very much for joining today, and I hope you will have a couple more hour maximum of revision tonight, maybe tomorrow morning early, but make sure you get plenty of rest, and good luck for tomorrow.